Hello everybody, this is Dom from Upstate Supernatural, and I'd like to welcome everybody for a brand new episode of Spirit Box Weekly. And this week we're still going to be continuing our test with the GB-Rift. We got this week and then next week. And then actually the week after that, the week of July 15th, I'm taking a break from the shows Thursday and Friday just because we have an event at the Finger Lakes Mall. So if you're actually local to New York State or around this area, we'd be happy to try to have you, there we go, be happy to try to have you swing over for our another public investigation at the Finger Lakes Mall. That's July 15th, and it's at 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So it should be a good time. We're going to co-host that with White Light Research. And then this upcoming fall, we have our Supernatural Expo. So we'll keep you posted with that. But I'd like to welcome everybody in here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out each other's channels as well. I'd like to just go ahead and kind of give a couple personal shout-outs. I got Scott, My Paranormal Corner, Nikki Paranormal, Perry with Pumpkinhead Paranormal, Doppelganger, Joan Gray. And if I'm missing anybody right now, as you trickle in, I will try to give you a shout out as well. But let me go ahead and turn this bad boy on. And as I said, we'll be doing this in another week, this week and then next week, and then we're all set with it. If you guys have any questions you would like asked, please type that in the chat and let me know what they are. Hello, hello. If there's any spirits that may like to try to communicate, now would be the time. We'd be happy to try to listen and hear for you. Would you like to say hello to anybody that may be in the chat? I hear laughter, I hear shot down. Court, thanks for being here. Now with this application, it does use a lot of word banks, so you're going to hear a lot of repeating words and things like that. You want to listen for the underlining words. Mary Dallas, thanks for being in here. Hello? Is there anybody here with us right now? Faint yes, I believe I heard. What type of questions do you guys have that are in the chat? What type of questions do you have, spirits? Do you have questions for us?
Shadow Canyon leader with
You don't have to be afraid to ask us any questions. A lot of us are very open to try to communicate with you. David, it's nice to see you here. I do actually have a coin in my hand. And, Spirits, if you could try to do this, I've never tried this actually on a stream. I'm gonna flip this. Can you call heads or tails? Can you call it in the air? Of course, I definitely. Didn't hear it. Didn't hear a heads or tails actually. A question I'm seeing in the chat is, spirits, were you superstitious when you were alive? Did you believe in spirits?
Deceased.
What were your beliefs? I believe I just heard hi, Dominic. Did I just hear that? Is that correct? Who honors me by saying hello, Dominic?
To the wise. Distress.
What causes it to be difficult for us to not be able to see you? What the hell? That poster just moved behind me?
Smiling at you. What was living?
Huh.
Blow up. Deprive. Stand.
LJM, thanks for being in here. Yeah, everybody, don't forget to check out My Paranormal Corner, Pumpkinhead Paranormal, Nikki Paranormal, LJM Paranormal, and don't forget to check out, actually, if you look up Courtney, she has a unique thing on Facebook. Don't forget to check that out as well. I'd like to give some shout-outs for anybody that's watching. I try to get to know everybody as best I can, I guess. It's a little difficult sometimes. Doppelganger.
Abduction.
Legendary.
Apple.
Yeah, it's very odd. I thought I saw a move.
He is trying to homicide.
Is there someone that is behind me? Who else resides in this house other than myself?
Desire.
How long have you been here?
Justification.
Do you happen to know what holiday is coming up? Today is actually Canada Day. So for any Canadians, doppelganger, I believe you're a Canadian. Happy Canada Day.
Inform.
Many individuals died for this holiday. Do you happen to know what it is?
Now, not. Be decisive.
How do you feel about fireworks? I would assume with some spirits it probably would cause like a PTSD where you know, they hear it sounds like, you know, firearms going off. Zazel, thanks for being in here.
Look at me,
Dismal. Remains. Departure. I am jealous. Covetous.
He wasn't.
And again, if you guys have any questions at all you'd like me to try to ask, feel free to type that in the chat, and I'd be happy to try to ask any questions that you guys may have. Now, spirits, they may be communicating through this application. How do you like it? Do you like this application? Is it easy for you to try to utilize?
Yeah.
No.
I think I heard a pretty distinctive no on that, actually.
Right.
And everybody, don't forget to like and share as well. I'd like to try to get this out there so other people that may be interested with the GB-Rift, you know, see if it works for them or see if it doesn't work for them. Rhonda, thanks for being in here. It's good to see you. Any spirits or individuals that may be present, did you like to party? Did you like to get together with your family? Are you how old are you? Are you like a grandparent? Are you a parent? Are you a sibling, a brother, a sister?
Take the letter.
Great grandfather, great grandmother?
Protect you.
Question that popped in is, any spirits, are you ready for the coming of a divine light?
Damage. Anxiety.
No, it's Halloween.
Do you feel that individuals that try to communicate with you can try to cross you over? Do we have that power or ability to do that?
Righteous. Check the children.
What allows you to cross over?
Nothing.
The mind. Untoward.
I mean, any spirits that may not be religious or may not have a background in religion, is it still angels, or is it or are there watchers or beings that kind of allow you to travel to that next realm.
No. Unsafe. Nation.
Nonsense.
What do you think of others that hold faith in religion? Out of all the investigations I've done, I've heard numerous times spirits coming through afraid to be judged or afraid to accept where they are. Are you afraid?
Wariness.
And then another question I like to ask is, should we be afraid?
Unity. Cook up.
Zero.
To blaze you. Unhate.
Dolls are guaranteed.
Scott has a great question. Is there an operator? Basically, back in the 40s and 50s, we used to have, telephone operators that would patch us through to the next thing. There's a phenomenal movie that I'm trying to remember the name of. It's got Albert Brooks in it, and it is it came out in the 90s. I can't remember the name of it. But it basically, this guy's driving his car. He just got a brand new car, and he dies. And then he goes to these like office buildings type things, where it's beings that have passed on, and they all basically are in a purgatory type deal where they are chosen whether or not they move on or they have to go back and redo everything. If you didn't learn what you were supposed to learn when you're on Earth, you had to go back. But if you did learn, you could progress forward, and you could actually be in that purgatory and work as a social worker in an essence. But it came out in the early 90s. It was an Albert Brooks film, which is, I believe, Mel Brooks' son. Many of us are getting cries of help when we're doing spirit communication or when we're doing investigating. I've spoken to a pretty well-known psychic. Defending Your Life. Yep. Excellent movie. I think I referred Scott to watch it, I think, at one point. I love the movie. It's excellent. Never seen it. Check it out. But the psychic that I talked to, it kind of gave me insight that spirits know that they're gone, that know that they have passed on, and that they kind of just stay around their loved ones and try to look out for them. But I mean, if you're looking for a very interesting movie, you gotta, again, it's in the 90s, so I mean, it's gonna be 90s style, you know what I mean? But I really liked it. It was a great movie. Correct. Yep. Yep. David, you must have seen it then. Diffuse, thanks for being in here. And another question coming in is, are you where you are by choice, or do you choose to stay where you are? And again, if you guys are hearing anything, type it in the chat. If you're not hearing anything, type it in the chat. What causes a spirit to be where they are?
It is Sylvia.
Inside of the gun. Impediment.
And for anybody that's coming in late to the show, again, this is the GB-Rift. It's made by Ghosthunterapps. And it does a word bank, so you're going to hear the same words. You're going to hear very similar words quite a few times. And basically what you do is as you're using it, as you get used to it, you're going to hear the underlining words. You're going to hear anomalies in there. And that's possibly where the communication is.
Much blood.
But what if it was... What that fly? Chief. I'm not even gonna... Right.
And I try to test out the applications or devices for about 4 weeks. See if I can get any results, see what happens within the shows. And then after the 4 weeks, I go on and I test another one. Some of them, we've gotten some crazy results. And some of them have been slightly difficult to figure out if we have or not.
Be afraid.
Wrathful.
Be afraid. That was slightly delayed on a question I asked a long time ago.
Terrible. Disbelief.
Why should we be afraid? Should we be afraid of you or of what happens after we die? What lessons can you teach us? I mean, you've definitely lived. You've progressed. You're somewhere where we don't know. What have you learned from your adventure or from your journey?
The admiration.
What can we teach to others that may be interested in trying to communicate with you?
Knees or hinder. Purely innocent.
Staying agony.
First one I got was a GB1, and I used it actually at an investigation. And I got the owner's name of the location. The SCD-1, when it first came out, I used it immediately after it first came out. Got my full name. We didn't get too much results when we tested it on the show. But one episode on the show with the SCD-1, it glitched. It wasn't working properly. It stopped. It disconnected from our Wi-Fi and then reconnected. But that little glitch that happened, we got the greatest communication we ever had in our life. If Whitney was here, she could tell you a little bit more about it. But I mean, it was clear as hell. It was ridiculous. And then the Phasma box, gotten some great stuff with that as well. Nope. And again, if you're using the application, if you're using Ghost Hunter Apps, you need to make sure you have a tablet, which the tablet needs to have 2 gigs of RAM. This one actually has 1 gig of RAM. But after these tests, this will be the last time I'll probably install the applications on this tablet. I'll be installing them on the desktop that I have over there that I use for Skype with our Thursday show.
The camera has nothing.
Ron, how you doing, bud?
Numbering against.
How's the little kitty? Any spirits that may reside here, do you remember Ronald? Remember Ron? And everybody, don't forget to check out each other's channels. Diffuse, I believe, does some gaming stuff, so if you guys are interested in that, don't forget to check out his channel. LJM does a bunch of paranormal. Pumpkinhead Paranormal does paranormal as well. My Paranormal Corner Paranormal, and Nikki Paranormal does the paranormal as well. So I mean, a lot of the people in here doing a lot of the paranormal stuff, but don't forget to check out each other's channels, see what everybody's doing. Sharing is caring. We've said that a long time ago. Spirits, out of curiosity, I see a question in the chat. I did ask that earlier, but I'm gonna try to reword it. What type of topics do you like? What type of topics do you like to try to talk about? Well, I appreciate you being here, Ron. Your help in the beginning with the show and working with you, it was an inspiration to keep going, and you're very helpful with everything. When I first started out with everything. So I appreciate all the support you gave and everything.
Be afraid.
Okay, maybe "be afraid" is actually a repeater, because that is the second time I heard it. So.
Play husband.
A great person, a great resource for this application is actually Nikki, who is in the chat. She did used to use this quite a bit, and same with the GB1. She knew like almost all the repeating words and everything. So if you ever need any help with some of the spirit boxes, don't forget to hit her up. She's got some great knowledge, and it's very vast.
It's. We'll strike it. Lumbering against.
Spirits, are you aware of what's happening in the world? Are you aware of our ecosystem? We're pretty close to being in a really bad spot. If our weather rises by 4 more degrees, there's going to be a lot of flooding in major cities. Yeah, if the world's humidity rises by about 4 degrees more than what it should be,
If it is.
all of our cities are going to flood. Alright, I'm gonna mute this real quick. I'm gonna try to do a burst session. I'm gonna try to see if I can capture any voices in this location. I've explained it numerous times. This place is 175 years old. Before I came here, my friend that I live with, he never felt that he experienced anything paranormal. And he still doesn't believe in the paranormal. He's actually the first episode of Interview with the Skeptic. That's my buddy, actually. But I've definitely seen stuff here. I've seen an apparition-style image walk downstairs one day. That was probably about 3-4 years ago. I did have an old Ouija board from 1918. And with that Ouija board, I actually watched a clock without any batteries in it begin to turn. Start going like this. It was about 2:30 in the morning. Not gonna lie, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Now I don't think it would. You know, I think the more that you investigate, the more you put yourself out there, it doesn't affect you as much. It still will, but it's not going to affect you in the same essence as it first does when you first get into this stuff. But yeah, let me go ahead and try to do a burst session. And any spirits, if you're able to try to communicate at this moment, I would appreciate that. I have a voice recorder right here. This is the Olympus Note Quarter DP201, if anybody is interested. And any spirits or individuals within communication, can you just let me know how you are right now? Okay, I believe I heard something actually at the end of it. Yeah, actually, I read CNN almost every day, and this year, 2016, will be the hottest year ever recorded since they started doing meteorology on the books and so forth. So this will be the first year on Earth that it will be the hottest ever recorded. I'm going to play this back, so if you guys are wearing headphones, you're going to want to turn them down. This could get very loud, so I don't want you to blast your eardrums. So you're going to want to turn your audio down and then just raise it back up to whatever is comfortable for you. But I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. And any spirits, if you're able to try to communicate at this moment, I would appreciate that. I have a voice recorder right here. This is the Olympus Note Quarter DP201, if anybody is interested. And any spirits or individuals within communication, can you just let me know how you are right now? There's a reply right there. enough for you.
Can you just let me know how you are right now?
I'm hearing right there. I'm doing okay. Actually, I'm hearing something else too right there. Sounds like turn it off. Right there. I'm hearing it. Turn it off. Right there. Turn it off. Let me pause that real quick. Let me slow that down just a tad for you. Right there. Is it turn it up or turn it off? Turn around. Got some stuff there too. I can hear it faintly. Can you hear us talking right now? Right there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna try something I haven't really done too much. Maybe I have a little bit, but okay. Spirits, I was able to hear you through this. I can hear you fairly okay. I mean, it wasn't very loud, but I did hear you basically ask if I could hear you. I'm acknowledging yes, I can. What I would like to try to figure out is how far are you? How far away from me are you? Are you in this room? Is the first question I will ask you. So, spirits or ghosts or whomever is here, are you in this room? And I have another question for you. Are you screaming? And the last thing I'm going to do you have a question for me? How's a car going by? Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to play this back again. Okay, so everybody, again, if you're wearing headphones, you're going to want to turn them down and then turn them up to a comfortable level. Just don't want you to blast your ears out. Trust me, with the times Andy's co-hosted with a show, even the times, even with myself, you know, that can get really loud. And it hurts. And I know it hurts. And I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. So if you're wearing headphones, turn them down and turn them up to a comfortable level. Let's see if we got any answers. I mean, that was pretty interesting.
So, spirits or ghosts or whomever is.
And just to let everybody know, this is this recorder, which I think I've shown it in here before. I can actually slow it down, which I do have it on slowed down. It's down to 50% rate of play. If you guys would like me to just have it played normal, just let me know in the chat, and I will do that for you. I think it's easier because I think sometimes we don't comprehend how fast they're talking. So by slowing it down, it makes it a little easier for us to actually hear what's coming through.
So, spirits or ghosts or whomever is here.
There's a female right there.
Spirits or ghosts or whomever is here. Are you in this room?
There's a reply right there.
Are you in this room? I have another question for you.
I'm hearing yes twice.
I have another question for you. Are you screaming?
No, I am trying to talk loudly. Listen to that. That's pretty cool.
Are you screaming? And the last thing I'm gonna do, you have a question for me?
Oh, there's a question.
For me? There's a car going by.
I mean, the question I thought I heard was very faint, extremely faint. I'm not going to discount it, but I believe it said, "Why can't you hear us too well?" But it was extremely faint, extremely faint. And I mean, I have had numerous times where, you know, individuals or other teams will ask me to try to listen for EVP or listen for audio. I just really, by doing all the spirit box stuff and by trying to listen specifically for underlining words and everything else, it really helps you kind of become like an analyzer or become a decoder of some of the stuff coming through. And once you go through so much audio, you know exactly what you're looking for. Sometimes you get surprised, but a lot of times you kind of know what you're looking for, what you're trying to listen for. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the GB-Rift back on. That was very interesting. And whoever is in here, I believe it's a female. I appreciate you trying to communicate. I appreciate everything you're trying to say. And within this show, if you would like to try to utilize this device as it's up, as it's loud, try to utilize that to talk, I'd love to see if it works.
The window was thin. And then it is my soul.
Hey Marco, how you doing, bud? James, it's good to see you, bud. Happy Canada Day.
Beginning.
And with any devices, any spirit boxes, try to talk slowly and as loud as you can, and hopefully we can hear you.
Tremble.
That's all I got.
And if you guys have any questions, please type those in the chat and let me know what questions you may have.
Excellent. Much blood. It's all right.
Be concerned.
I'm just looking around the room, trying to see if I see anything or hear anything. Early on, definitely thought I saw something with the poster behind me. It looked like it moved. Hasn't done it again either. I have no strings, no nothing. I mean, my hands are right here. You know what I mean? I don't. It's interesting. And a question to the spirits is, why did you say be afraid? And a question another individual is curious about is, where did you live? Where are you from originally? What the hell was that? Where are you from originally?
Look at me,
Look at me, Daisy. Huh.
My life.
What do the spirits do when we're celebrating a holiday? Do you celebrate with us?
Can you leave the
I like that, Marco. And I like that, Nikki, as well. Any spirits within communication? Are you with loved ones, or are you with strangers on the other side that may help you get to your location, get to where you need to be?
delicious?
And a lot of us have stories from investigating that spirits have followed us home. Why is that? Do you feel connected with us? And is that why you follow us home? Without anything catching fire. Spirits, I'd like to let you know Samuel is here. You okay with that?
Disease.
Then it is.
Are you slightly aggravated that I can hear you, but I can't hear you completely? I keep hearing shut up. And for individuals curious on why I probably said the thing with Samuel, we were using a Dark Fox. It was episode, I believe, 13. Pretty sure. But it was an episode I actually felt that I was possibly possessed. Samuel came on the show. We had a candle. And he goes, "Can you ask the spirits if they know who I am?" And it said Samuel. And then within about 60 seconds, that candle lit up that far. I mean, it was crazy. And then right after that, I blew it out. I'm just like blowing it out. Didn't even think if there was a fire on the floor. And then you hear a voice come through, and this was within a Dark Fox. And it says, "Edward, why did you do that?" It was freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Come on. Friend.
I think you are inconvenienced.
The individuals are curious what it means for a person to be born within the veil.
Christian Mixie.
Yeah. First thing Nikki goes is check the floor. And I didn't even think anything about it. I just blew it out immediately. It was just like, that just happened, and I just blew it out. I've been trucking along the whole way, bud. Yep, this upcoming, actually, right around New Year's, I'll be hitting 100 episodes roughly with Spirit Box Weekly. Any spirits? How? I hate asking this question because I know if I was passed on, I'd have a tough time wanting to talk about it. But spirits, how did you pass? How did you pass? And do you know that you are possibly, an individual that has passed on? Was it from a long-term illness? Or was it from a plague or a virus that was widespread? And spirits, just for validation, if you could do me a huge honor and just try to say one individual's name. Easy as hell to say. Could you say Mark, if that's possible?
Violate.
Okay, and just to validate one more time, can you say Mark again?
Through the screen.
Road.
That was close. I just heard Benjamin. Spirits, did you happen to say Bobby as well, or Dad? I heard Benjamin, and then I heard I did. Spirits are going to be turning this off in just a few minutes. Is there anything else you would like to try to communicate? Anything you would like to try to say? Maybe a warning or just a acknowledgement of how things are and that you are certainly okay. I don't want any spirits attaching to Mark. Mark is a very distinct name, and it's very simple to say.
Wolves of strength.
Alright, I'm gonna mute that real quick. And again, everybody, don't forget to check out everybody's channel. If you guys are in the chat, you guys are seeing each other, check out each other's channels. And please don't forget to subscribe to Upstate Supernatural. I'm sure everybody already is. But please don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe. And don't forget to check out Pumpkinhead Paranormal, my paranormal corner, LJM Paranormal, and Diffuse. He does some gaming stuff. Don't forget to check that out. Samuel does some ghost hunting stuff. That's Ghost Hunter in Stockton, California. And Nikki Paranormal has some great stuff on there. If you haven't seen her channel, get your ass over there. She's got tons and tons and tons of footage on there, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. It's some pretty outstanding stuff as well. Same with Scott, my paranormal corner, and Perry. Everybody that's doing the YouTube stuff, you guys do a bang out job. You're putting great stuff out there. And don't forget, next Thursday, live Spirit Frequencies. We're still fiddling with the Ouija board, and the week after that will be, and then next Friday will be the last week with the GB-Rift. We're going to take a poll, take a vote on what ghost box to use next. And the week after that, week of July 15th, just so everybody knows, there will not be any shows with Upstate Supernatural. We'll come back the week after. It's just because we have our event that we're hosting that weekend. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a happy Independence Day, whether you're in Canada for today or whether you're in America, which is on Monday. So everybody have a beautiful night. Catch you later, and thanks for being here.